Hey, what's going on? This is Stop Playin's Director here, making an offbeat video for the channel. I recently saw 20 plus minutes of Robocop Rogue City and I have some thoughts I'd like to share. Just so you know, this isn't really a review, it's more of a first impression of the game and my own personal slant on it as a casual gamer. I'm a big fan of the original Robocop film, so that's what inspired me to do this. Let's go. Right off the bat, I'll mention the graphics. They're basic in my opinion. At this state in technology, it's hard for me to be blown away by any current gen visuals because the standard was set, I believe, years ago, and we've all been spoiled by it. I don't hear too many gamers geeking out over how good a game looks nowadays, do you? Of course, that's not to say Rogue City looks bad, it looks great, but the fact is we're used to seeing everything in HD, so we all kinda expect this quality from developers. Personally, I never gave half a shit about 60 plus frames per second or 4K rendering as long as the game is functional. When I was a more avid gamer, my focus was on replayability. Is the game fun? Am I enjoying it? Simple as that. The sound is also decent, and yet another thing subject to expectations. I read that Peter Weller provided Robocop's voice, and that's always cool to hear. As far as I'm concerned, he is Robocop.
What is the situation?
Two disappointing aspects in terms of sound were the voice of Officer Lois, his partner, and his gun. Firstly, it would have been nice to hear Nancy Allen reprise her role, even if it's only her voice. I'm not complaining about the woman who provided speech for the character, but again, I'm thinking nostalgically.
There you are, partner.
Lois?
Secondly, his gun. Robo's gun does not sound like that. Here's the difference. Come on, y'all really could have tried, and yes, I am complaining about that. If you want to be true to the lore, you gotta go all the way. That aside, everything sounds great. Environment, music, Robo's footsteps, all good. I'm an audiophile, so I absolutely paid attention. Gameplay doesn't look like anything truly special. It appears to be one of those go here shoot these guys, now go there shoot those guys type of FPS. I've seen many shooters throughout the years and I honestly couldn't differentiate this from others. I think it fits the idea of what a Robocop game should be, since that is what he did as a mechanical officer with law enforcement programming, but the concept just doesn't excite me. Sorry. The enemy AI seem cocky and idiotic at times just standing in front of you during a confrontation. Like seriously, who the hell does this in a shootout? Especially when you realize the object you're shooting at is deflecting your bullets and not immediately dying. They look silly, but to be fair, it's not the worst I've seen. Also, I've always wondered, in the films, Robo had an automatic targeting system, so shouldn't he have one here? I mean, he is a machine after all, right? Consider all of the skillless pussies that use aimbots in online shooters. This is one of the rare times I believe a gaming character should have precision auto-aim. Just saying. The grab feature is alright, it makes sense in close quarters, but the Robo Punch is cool. I could totally see the comedy in fisting the enemies to death. Lastly, and by far the most interesting aspect to me about Rogue City, the story. I read that you can forge alternate endings based on your behavior and decision making throughout the campaign. I see a lot of potential here, and that's strange coming from me because story is not something I care about in gaming. Ever. I've always found myself sitting through cutscenes strictly as a why not, I'm already here thing. And besides, shooters aren't exactly known for their fascinating storytelling. The action is what makes players return. However, this game has me intrigued probably because I'd like a reimagining of the shitty movies that came after the first Robocop. Part 2 wasn't a complete dumpster fire, but it could have been a lot better. Apparently, Rogue City's story takes place between the second and third film, so I'm curious to see where they take it, and when you factor in the element of altering the narrative as you go, the possibilities become more compelling. Hopefully, to a satisfying degree. So those are my thoughts. Overall, not a game I'd run out and buy since I'm extremely casual about video games anyway, but I can't wait for someone to post all the cinematics before I can indulge. Taeyeon, please don't let me down. Fix my childhood. That's all I got for today. Now back to our regularly scheduled laughter. If you enjoyed the video, please get algorithmic. Rate, subscribe, dance, love, and get some exercise. This is Der Director saying thanks for watching and until next time, take it easy.